Okay, boys and girls, today you're going to be writing a driving question, and we're going to talk about the difference between a driving question and an inquiry question. So first of all, it's important to know that driving questions can be written in a variety of formats to do different things. The first of all is that they can solve a problem. They can be educational, convince others. They can be a broad theme, meaning that they encompass like a really big idea, and this is where a lot of our projects are going to fall. Then they can also be an opinion question. They can be considered divergent, which is when things, when you're making a prediction if something wouldn't have happened or if this was implemented, you're kind of making a what if kind of scenario in that sense. And then we have just scenario based where you're taking on a role. So we have all different types. We are going to be working in broad theme driving questions this time around, and you're going to pick from one of those. So the first thing that you need to know is driving questions guide your project and anchor your project every step of the way. You will not answer your driving question until your final product. So when we look at your final product, whether it be an essay, a poster, a Google presentation, a website, a slideshow, a puppet show, anything that you're making, we will be able to answer your driving question with the information that you present to us or you would have in there. You're not at all answering your driving question in your research process because you're collecting information to help you put together an answer for it. And so it's really important to know that. Another thing about driving questions are that I can't just Google them. So for example, I can't say what color is the sky. That isn't a driving question. Instead, I could say what factors influence how we see color. That would be a driving question. Now, one thing that we need to know is that driving questions, though, although we're not actually Googling them, we're not researching them, they are anchoring us. We need to have things that guide us through our entire process, and that's where inquiry questions come in, and this is where our curiosity comes through. So inquiry questions are going to be questions that, yes, we can Google. No, we are not going to just stick the entire question into Google, but we can use parts of it. So if I was looking at what makes the sky blue, I might ask the question about the factors of color and the color spectrum. Then inquiry questions are going to be facts. So you're going to find information. You should be able to have information that you collect after you find it that you can report out, and you answer these while you're researching and collect them into bigger ideas and group them together and organize them. So your task today is going to be to fill out the bottom part of this sheet that looks like this that our guest teacher has for you, with your name, your subject area, and your topic. You're going to put your project title. So if we remember, mine is about famous landmarks. I'm not just going to make my project title famous landmarks. I'm going to make it kind of something fun. So I might do my project title as, so my project title will be something like tourism and the impact landmarks make. And it's going to be something that kind of gives away what I'm going to be looking at. Then my driving question, boys and girls, it's really important to know that the first time you make a driving question, it might not be accepted, and that's totally okay. Even as a teacher, there are times where I make a driving question and I realize that it was a poorly worded driving question, and so I redo it. So I want you to know that it's okay to try to come up with several variations of your driving question, just so you're ready to have it checked off and that you're not feeling defeated with it. And if you're really struggling with creating the driving question, because it is a tough process, but you all rocked it in your independent projects for literacy, that we think that you can totally do it again. So you're going to create your driving question. You're going to put the one that you would like to have checked off. So if I create more than one, because I'm worried about it, I'm going to put one right here. Then I'm going to create my inquiry questions. Just because I have 5 spaces does not mean that I'm only going to ask 5 questions my entire research process. I could ask 20 questions, I could ask 30 questions, but these are the 5 questions that are going to really jumpstart my research, and that's what I'm going to do.